a document that you might have been talking about?
There's the motor thing, yes.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
This is... His energy. He's so pleased, even in my hands. It's as if, like, he's... Oh, that means more to him than actually losing his physical life.
Can I just go back on a couple of things? You know how you came up with the quote, how unlucky or unfortunate?
Yes.
And he shouldn't have been here.
Mm.
He was actually due to collect that vehicle from the garage on the day that he died.
Yeah.
Bless him. But he couldn't collect it. He is angry at certain times when he goes to the tower.
Oh.
He is angry. He is. And he may display a little bit of anger over there, I feel.
Mm.
In the memories of what should have been, what could have been.
Mm.
Can we go over to the tower?
Yeah, yeah.
I'd love to go there.
Yeah, okay.
Because I feel as if we're being drawn there, you know?
The ghost of an airman has been seen regularly walking towards the control tower. Most people believe this apparition to be the ghost of one of the American crew members of a B-17 that crash-landed, killing all on board. According to Derek, this is not so. The ghost is that of a pilot who was not allowed to land at the airfield. This in fact did happen on July the 1st, 1943. A Canadian pilot flying a Spitfire requested permission to land as he was low on fuel. For some unknown reason, his request was not granted, and he crashed miles from the airfield.
Why did you keep me up there? I'm Norman. I'm Norman. Norman. Don't. Yeah, I'm okay. I'm in control. Look, I personally feel as if this poor soul, Norman, is in his own torment.
Right.
He's intelligent enough to realise that, which is a change, and he's been told that there is another place by his comrades that also lost their lives. His next point, there's only one more thing to go for him in mind, and that is to get this, like, apology. An apology.
But he's not going to get that, is he?
He holds on to this torment that he still feels is attached here. But I've also got to point out, he's certainly not a spirit person that deserves to still be in this atmosphere. He should have gone on. He was a good soul, he was an honourable man, and he deserves to be in his rightful place.
Right.
He shouldn't be grounded here.
So if Derek was correct, Norman Watt, the young Canadian pilot, was still here, haunting the airfield to wait for an answer as to why he couldn't land. Now that Derek had named the mystery pilot, he felt drawn back to the hangar, as he thought we might experience some activity. Just in case we did catch something paranormal on camera, Richard Felix was keeping an eye on us in the monitor room, and Jonathan, the owner's grandson, joined us in our investigation.
A little bit earlier, in fact, I was drawn to the back of this plane, this aeroplane, and I'm being drawn again.
Right.
It was not a spirit person showing themselves, but I heard a voice saying, "Go to the front of the plane."
Right.
And he pointed up to the engines, and he said, we're pleased, we've been watching, we've been looking in. However, he said, we're pleased with the work that's been done. They're all functional. And I said, what are all functional? And he said, the engines, but one is not totally functional, and it's not working. We're waiting, all of us, in anticipation for it to be completed, so the 4 engines will be workable again. But it's just come back now, and he's pleased, this man, as the voice. And I said, who are you? And he said, Hutchins. It sounds like Robert Hutchins. Robert Hutchins. And there's another one. There's another one. There's 2 of them. They've come together. Robert Hutchins and my good friend Robert Hay. Robert Hay.
Right.
Robert Hutchins and Robert Hay, they come and visit here. They're interested and drawn back to this particular plane.
Right.
And because they're interested in watching the completion of these engines being sorted out.
Can we check that with Richard?
It sounded like Robert Hutchins and Robert Hay.
Yeah, can you check the names Robert Hay and Robert Hutchins in connection with the Lancaster bomber?
Yeah, these are the one.
They're here.
Okay.
But they're not constantly here. It's just fleeting visits. That are totally aware if the engines were to be spun now, one would most definitely not be
We
functional.
should check on that about the engine. Sorry, Phil. Just see if that's true.
Richard, is it true that one of the engines on the Lancaster is not functional or not functioning correctly?
You're quite right. One of those engines has recently been changed. It does actually need a slight adjustment or tweaking.
What was that? What was that?
Did you hear that again? It's all from the far corner.
Oh my God, did you hear that?
Yes.
Stay still, stay still, stay still, stay still, stay still. Shh, stand still.
Down there now. Down there now.
Did you hear that?
It's got a bump.
Oh, shh, shh. Just do it again. There. There's something over there. Should we go round?
Yeah.
Should we go round? It was over here, wasn't it?
Yeah. This area.
Shh, 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 shh.
Oh, John, look, just there. Yeah. Just moved. Yeah. The torch around. There's a figure of a guy with a cap. Doing that, just right by there.
Did you see it?
That's all. Yeah, okay.
We were both basically where you are.
Yeah.
Jonathan said, have you picked anything up from here?
From the camera.
And literally we moved the light, the torch around, and exactly where Jonathan was standing, there was literally a guy, it was a top hat, just completely black, like a shadow black. Guy with a hat, like a captain's hat. He was just pointing like this. And I just stopped. I stopped dead, and Jonathan said, "Yeah, I know. I've seen it too." And I said, "What?" And he said, "Well, first thing I saw was an orb." He said, and then I just saw the figure, and I said, "Yeah, well, that's what I've seen, a figure of a."
Was he pointing to the bomber car?
He was pointing this direction.
In that direction.
Towards the direction.
Well, what do you think we should do? Do you think we should just stand near the bomber and be really quiet and see if we can pick anything, any noises up?
I feel that is an area in which, you know, we're likely to get something there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shall we stand near the bomber then?
Yeah, yeah. And if this man was pointing in that direction, he's pointing in the direction of the bomber. Yeah. There is a drawing of the energy, so they've got to, the drawing was to it, definitely.
Should we stop here?
Okay.
Shh. If everybody just stands really quietly. Right, stand. Right, shh. Shh.
Come on. Please, just for the ears alone, for the hearing, please put your effort into making some kind of gesture, noise,